Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. So first, I just want to say, make sure your cameras are on. I see a lot of beautiful faces, and I see a lot of people that turned off the camera. Like, come on, this is our team hangout time, and you guys all look great. So, anyways, we have a really awesome call tonight. I'm really excited. So, we'll get right into the recognition, and then we'll get right into our content. So, if you don't see your coaches on, make sure you're texting them, getting them on this call, tagging them in the team reminder post, but getting them on this call. So first off, I want to recognize as of January 21st, so about 2/3 into the month, so lots of time, but I want to recognize the top 10 Success Club earners in our team, in our organization, which is crazy. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, in Team Fight to Finish family, there is a document that you can edit that once you're helping people, you're signing up people, you guys can actually edit to your recognition yourself. Just kind of a fun way to keep up with the team. So at the top of the leaderboard, we have Sammy Glonick with Success Club 38. Crazy. After her, we have Success Club 30, which is Amy Rada. And then with Success Club 26, we have myself, Morgan Elliott, Megan Kelly. Success Club 24, Amanda Heidenreich. Success Club 20, we have Casey Kretsch and Cassie Biltz. And then with Success Club 18, we have Michaela Gerds and Casey Bonneret. So congratulations to all of you guys. If you heard a familiar face, make sure you're shouting them out in the chat because they are crushing it. Next up are the top recruiters. Again, I always recognize the top 10. So these are people that are adding to their teams. They are building their business every single week, every single day, and obviously it shows. So at the top of this leaderboard with 16 new coaches, Amy Rada, that is amazing. After her, we have 13 new coaches, which is Sammy Glonick. 11 new coaches is myself and Casey Kretsch. 9 new coaches, Morgan Elliott. 8 new coaches, Amanda Heidenreich. 6 new coaches, Aaliyah Vischer. And then with 5 new coaches added, we have Megan Kelly, Michaela Gerds, Leanna Swords, and Noelle Stockstad. So congratulations to you guys. Y'all are amazing and super inspiring. So for our team call, we have one of my diamond coaches, Sarah Spickler. So Sarah is a new mom. She has a 5-month-old little girl, and she's full-time with coaching. So she gets to be with her, but sometimes as easy as that may seem, for those of you guys that are moms, you know how hard it can be. But I wanted this call not to be just for moms, because there's also a lot of us that on this call that aren't moms, but just whatever season of life you're going through, knowing that it's going to be hard, Sarah's going to teach you how to get rid of those limiting beliefs and how to 10x your business on top of that, instead of it being your excuse, making it your priority. So it's been just amazing watching her have this baby and come back into her business and just like, this is me, I'm freaking doing this. She's been inspiring her team, and I'm just going to stop talking. So, Sarah, you are unmuted. I'm going to mute myself, girl. It's all you.
Okay, you kind of cut out there. Can you guys hear me? It might be my internet, but Jamie fizzled out. Okay, great, awesome. So, hi you guys. I am really excited to talk to you guys, and I actually have a lot. And it is in no order, and it was just kind of my thoughts on here. I numbered them, so I have 6 different things to talk to you guys about. And like Jamie said, this is if you're a mom, this is if you just want to make this work and you are really busy, because I thought that, I think everyone kind of thinks this before they actually become a mom, that like, oh, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, like I have so much time to do all this stuff. And no, that's definitely not how it works. I have to be very intentional with my time and use it wisely, because there's not a lot of extra time during the day. But I knew that this was my year of being pregnant. It was good, but it got real hard towards the end. And I knew that after I had her, I had to freaking kick it up a notch. So that's what I've been doing. So I'm just going to get into it. Number 1, use the season of life you are in to your full advantage. It doesn't matter if you are a mom, if you are a student, if you are working at Taco Bell. It does not matter what you are doing. You can use any of those things to reach your people. And I think a lot of the times new coaches get really scared to be super specific. But if I could urge you to do one thing, it would be to get super specific and not to be scared about that, because I thought, I'm going to be narrowing down this huge audience that I have to this specific group of people. I am reaching for moms. And if I attract other people along the way, awesome. But my market is new mommies. When I was pregnant, I was searching hashtags. I gave birth in August to my little Agnes. So I was talking to every August 2018 babies. I was talking to every single one of those moms, because I knew that after we had those babies, we were going to be on the same track, dealing with the same things. So it's all about using those hashtags, finding your people, and focusing in, because that's your team, you guys. That is your tribe. You're going to have so much to talk about, and going into so much to talk about, being super specific and using IG polls, not just for invites. I think it's great for call to actions. It's worked really well for me. But oh my gosh, I asked the most random question. It was so weird. I talked about stale peeps. I'm obsessed. I have problems. I talked to 50 women, you guys. 50 women. I was up laying in bed at 10:30 talking to these women about eating stale marshmallows, and 5 of those girls signed up with me, because we started talking about friggin' marshmallows. And another thing, I made a poll about a C-section. Like, it freaking sucks. You have a pooch. It blows. It's not fun. It's really not. And I put a little poll out there while I was working out doing crunches, and I said, like something about like moms that have dealt or dealing with a pooch from a C-section. 200 women commented on that poll. So on days that Aggie's not sleeping, or I'm just busy in general, I have 200 women to go reach out to. And something super personal that we have in common, that I didn't have to like think of what I was going to say to them, and it just comes natural. I have so many notes, so if I glance, that's what I'm doing. And being raw, being really raw, you guys. The sooner you just strip away the pretty veil, and don't get me wrong, IG needs to be a pretty platform. Your pictures need to look nice. They need to be bright. I'll go into that later. But you need to be real. I don't enjoy sharing my stretch marks on Instagram, but I don't second guess it. I don't question it, because that is what is going to bring my tribe. It's what has brought my people. I have signed up so many new moms. It's ridiculous. Like, that is the people who are coming to me because I'm showing them I did this while I was pregnant. I did this after I was pregnant, and it was that much easier to bounce back. But the whole point is I'm just being raw and being real. I'm sharing that I have folds and rolls and stretch marks. And I know people who aren't pregnant have those things too. And we all have flab and jiggle. And I think people need to see that. They need to see the really good days, and they need to see, the hard days, but that you're being as positive as you can with where you're at in your journey. So basically, get specific. Don't be scared that you're narrowing in your target audience. You need to do it. Number 2, using a timer system. Like I said, I have to be super intentional with my time. She sleeps for maybe 30 minutes. And then I'm up, I'm playing with her. And sometimes when I'm laying on the mat playing with her, I reach out to 5 new girls and then put my phone aside and then play with her. Like, I work in pockets. And I find that putting pressure on myself makes me work harder and faster. If I know I have all the time in the world, I am going to dilly-dally. But if I set a timer, and I do, for 30 minutes, I'm like, okay, she's going to wake up. Or, and if you don't have a baby or whatever, you need to do this anyways, because it's really easy to drift. It's really easy to get sidetracked, really easy to say, I got to put my work down, go do that load of laundry. Like, no, just set your timer, just get it done. The laundry can get done afterwards. Like, if you are really in this and this is what you want to do, then you need to get this done and then go get the other stuff done. And on the 5-second rule, I wanted to mention that if you guys have not read that book, it has helped me immensely with being afraid and nervous to do reach outs or do follow-ups. Like, you don't have a choice. You just count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just start talking. And it sounds really simple, but it's helped with just getting my workouts done. Like, as soon as she goes down for a nap in the mornings, I'm like, I'm tired. I don't want to work out this early. But I'm like, no, I have to do it or it's not going to get done. And it's 10 times as hard when she's awake. So just getting those things done, counting down, using a timer system and not dilly-dallying. 3, and you've heard this from a lot of coaches lately that have talked in Jamie's Business Builder page or Emerald page, use a preset filter. This has changed my life. I used to take forever to post pictures. I used to have, I'm using a ring light right now. It was 99 bucks off Amazon. You don't have to get the freaking Diva ring. You don't have to. This thing's amazing. And it's definitely worth the investment. It's a write-off. If you have bad lighting in your house and you don't have a lot of windows, this will fix it. But I would spend so much time like whitening and everything because I had yellow lighting, and it was like my husband like made fun of me, but I wanted my pictures to look good. He would laugh so much. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "This has to look white. It's so nasty in here." But it's helped so much. And just having a filter, Lightroom is, I don't know who made that, but they're a genius. It's so much easier to just hit copy, hit paste, and then go spend time on my content, making my post. Because yes, your pictures do need to look pretty, but what you are putting with them is obviously the most important thing. People are hearing and listening to your words and what you have to say. They're taking the time to read what you're putting up there. Okay, that was it for that. Number 4, push hard or your team won't, period. I was hitting Success Club 5. When I first started, I was not hitting it every single month. I'd hit it for like 5 months. And then I remember my first Halloween being a coach. I was at a Halloween party and I stayed up until midnight, like reaching out to as many people as I could. And I remember Tyler being like, again, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Have fun." I'm like, "No, I'm only at Success Club 4 and I need to freaking hit this." And I didn't. And I found I just wasn't making real personal conversations. I was putting fitness first, which is great once you're in it, but I really think you need to connect on a personal level and transition that to fitness. It's so much easier. It's going to work so much better for you. But pushing hard or your team won't. I was hitting the bare minimum and I was seeing my coaches fall short. And I just thought to myself, like, Jamie has really pushed and like that has made me push. Like I need to make my coaches like push. I want to have them see me coming out of something, having a baby is freaking hard. It's hard. And I wanted them to see me in more of a leadership position. I had established my business. I was like, okay, it is my time to push and show them that I can still do this business and even more, even with a baby. And so I started saying that, my minimum was 10. It wasn't Success Club 6 anymore. And I'm still pushing for more this month because I just want to show them that even though you're busy, you can still make big goals. And even if you fall short, you're still pushing for them. Even if you get halfway and you hit that non-negotiable, that's what it's all about. So along with pushing hard, I kind of mix that in with team spirit. I have noticed a huge change in just like the morale and the spirit of my team. Something that I do and I think that's really working and that people get excited about. So for Emerald, I used to do an Amazon gift card and that's great. Some people love that and that's just what they've always done and that's awesome. What I decided I wanted to do was give them a team shirt. It was kind of like your business center is open. This is your official like initiation. Like you are officially like part of the team. And I love it. I love seeing my girls in it. I have them on my cover photo of my team page and like all my other coaches see it and they're like, "How do I get that tank? How do I get that tank top?" And I'm like, "Girl, it's easy. You just got to hit Emerald. It's 2 people." So it's exciting and then we're all wearing the same shirt. We just feel we're so far away, but we feel so connected. And a team song. Jamie did this too and I totally stole the idea because it like pumped all of us up. And so I wanted to do a team song and the other day we all got on Zoom and like we danced to it. And it was kind of like a full circle moment. Like I found my people, like these are my girls. And it was just exciting. It's just a song, you guys. And it doesn't have to be, you have to buy them something. It doesn't have to be that, but it's about making everyone feel connected in some shape or form. Number 5. So this is, sorry, I'm reading through my scribble, 2 groups. So this is about making, working well with my time. And 2 things that I was really struggling with was a prep week. And I stole this from Cassie Biltz. Thanks, girl. It's working really well though. A prep for success group. I do not let my new challengers join my boot camp until they finish it. And the very last step is posting their before and afters. And if they're really uncomfortable, they email it to me. I do not add them because I want that to be their stamp, their signature of I'm committed. I'm in this. I've signed the dotted line. Here are my picks. Here are my numbers. Like, I am all in. So I tell them, they're like, oh, did you add me yet? I'm like, did you finish that up, girl? You know, and it kind of creates a little bit of pressure for them. Like, it goes through meal prep. It goes through, I don't even know. There's like 7 different units. If you ask Cassie for it or me for it, I think she's the one that came up with it. I totally stole it. It's been amazing because everyone's really working through it, and almost all of them, except for a couple girls, have posted their pictures. And I was like, yes, because that's where it is. They need to see that, whether they want to look at it right now or not. They're going to want to see that later. Before pictures are like so huge. If your challengers are not giving those to you, they need to be, because like I said, it's just signing that dotted line, and it gives them even more like incentive to show up and to push. And then coach sneak peeks. I was bombing at coach sneak peeks. And I told myself this year, I'm going to pick one topic that I am, not thriving in, and I'm going to focus on that. And so mine was coach sneak peeks and recruiting. That's where I was struggling. So don't ignore your struggles, dive into them, fix them. I watched a YouTube training of Ashley Fieldson. I'm going to totally botch her name. Ashley, whatever. Fieldson, something. Someone type it in the comments down below. She did a really short, super freaking amazing training on coach sneak peeks. And I followed it. And so many of my girls, I'm still talking to a lot of them. I just did this last week, but like, we're having a real conversation. It wasn't like I messaged them and they just stopped showing up. So, what time is it? Okay, good. I'm still good on time. So she made it really specific. It allows for 0 to little word vomit, because I was finding that I was going too much into the details, which it's important to hit some things, but you're going to talk to them. Like, you're going to, step aside and talk to them through Messenger, IG, email, like however it is you guys were talking, and you're going to go into the nitty gritty and kind of pick things apart. That's the space and time to talk about all that stuff. And I'm going to just go really quick through it. I can post the training. If you type in like how to run a coach sneak peek, it's like the 3rd video down. So day 0, and I can share the pictures that I made for this too if you guys want. So day 0, it's just a schedule. It shows day 0, day 1, 2, 3. And then, so day 1 or day 0 is, I share the schedule. I say, hi, everyone, post a gift down below that's in this group. So it kind of just has them show up in like a fun way, instead of saying like, comment, introduce yourself. Sometimes people are like, I don't have time to answer 5 questions, but I'm here. So I did a GIF. All my girls commented. Super fun, super easy. Day 1 is just an introduction day. I just talk about my story and coaching and where I was then, where I am now. Day 2, I talk all about time and tasks. So what my schedule used to look like when I was a teacher, as opposed to now that I'm a full-time coach. So I talk about, how I use my day. And like I said, I don't go into like extreme detail, but just how I use my time as a busy mom, and what I do as a coach daily. 3 is success leaves clues. So I had 3 of my coaches pop in anytime during the day. Everyone has different schedules. So I asked 3 of my girls, like, hey, can you just pop in, go on for 5 minutes, and just talk about why you love coaching and why you started? And they're like, yeah, sure, of course. So you get some new faces in there, and you keep it simple, and it's not a lot of pressure on them. And then day 4, I did money/income progression. Again, I didn't go into crazy detail, but I talked a little bit about my year 1 of coaching as to now, and I have literally, I've done the math, 10x'd my business. And some girls were like, whoa. And so that was pretty cool. That was fun talking about that. I had never done that before, but like, that's what people want to hear. That's one of the topics. They're like, okay, do you really make money from this or not? And then I did a live Q&A, and this was probably my favorite part. So what I did, I went and found a like super cheap tank top from Etsy. And I said, comment below a question for me, and I will enter your name for a chance to win this tank top. So yeah, who doesn't want to drop a question, like win a free tank top? And I made it, like I said, it was something from The Office, like Bears beats Battlestar Galactica, because I'm obsessed and my people love that show. So that's what I did. And all of them, I think a couple of them even asked 3 questions. So that doesn't usually happen. Girls usually ignore that section because they're nervous or they don't want to ask something silly. I know I did with Jamie's. I was like, I'm not asking questions. I'm going to look stupid. But it was a really fun way for them to just feel comfortable and enter to win something. And then the last night, I draw a winner. I tell them thank you. I say I'm going to be reaching out to them and kind of give them like that little inspiration and like push. Just freaking, if they want to try this, just try it. There's nothing to lose, kind of thing. Working so well. I'm doing them like this all the time now. Really easy. I already have my pictures to use for all of them. So those are my 2 groups that I've been using that have saved me time. Number 5, this one's big. This is one of my last ones. Don't ignore the numbers, you guys. Do not ignore your coach online office. Do not ignore those things. That was something I was ignoring for a long time. It's why I did not like to talk to Steve Ennis, but I love talking to him now because I have faced that. It gave me anxiety, you guys. I don't know if anyone else is like that on here, that it's like you kind of like close your eyes when you're like logging into your coach online office, and I'm like, I don't even want to know what rank I am. I don't even know what coaches are going to be inactive. I just don't want to know. And maybe that's silly, but maybe some of you can relate to that. And for those of you that can relate, you have to stop doing that. You have to make super specific number goals. My husband finally talked me into this. He's like, we got to sit down, do the math. What's going out? What are you spending money on? You know, your PV. Do you, use Voxer? Do you pay for Zoom? Like what, your coaching fee? What specific number is going out as opposed to what you are bringing in? And what do you need to do to bring in more to combat that? I didn't look at that for the first 2.5 years. When I finally did, I was like, okay, a lot more is going out than I'm keeping. So that was just really awesome to just be like, okay, by the end of the year, this is what I want to be bringing in with all the other stuff that's coming out. And I finally felt like I have something to really work for. I have a super specific number, and it doesn't matter if you're a baby coach. It doesn't matter if you're an emerald. Like if you're not sure what's realistic, like what can I realistically work towards? What can I really bring in? Reach out to your coach. Like that's what we're here for. We want to help you guys with that. And then the last thing, and this is kind of some tough love. I'm not really great with tough love, but I thought I'd throw it out there. Until you reach diamond, there is no such thing as business hours. Maybe that's tough, but I really think that I'm diamond right now, but I'm pushing and I still don't have business hours. I lay in bed sometimes until 10:30 or 11 because I'm talking with my people. Inviting and reaching out to people used to be scary, but when you finally start talking to your audience, your people, it really does become fun. It becomes easy, and I love it now. But if you are not diamond and you need to be pushing, you do not have business hours. I'm not saying you have to stay up till 3 a.m. I'm not saying that, but you need to keep pushing. You need to stay up late. You need to get up early. If you want this, then you need to put in the time, and you don't have hours you're working. You're just open for business. So that's all I have.
Okay. You guys can add your questions to the chat box and I can read them off to her. But that last point, I was like, all the hands go up. All the hands go up. I love that. And everyone else loved that too. And I think it's just so important. Carly just said it too, but that's where, the business really starts as diamond. So, if we're talking all the time of like, oh, I have business hours, I have to set small little increments. It's like, you're not diamond yet. You need to get to diamond and really put in the time. What is your favorite place to get presets from?
So I bought all of mine from Ashley Smith, and she has a discount code. So they're like $50 and you get 4 or 5 of them. But she has a discount code. I got them for $20, and there's a bunch of them. And I was kind of worried, like, my picture's going to look the same as hers, but you can go in and tweak all presets. You can make it lighter. You can enhance color. So you can make it your own, but I really love hers.
Love it. So I wanted to ask, can you share which ring light you got on Amazon and the Tftf page?
Oh, yeah, sure.
When you have a coach go inactive, do you reach out, and what do you say, especially if they're evading the topic?
I don't know. I guess I just keep it really simple. I just kind of let them know, like, if they don't know, because some coaches really don't know, or they like skip their Shaco and they're going to get something else, but it wasn't HD or something like that. And they're just, a lot of the times they're just learning. So I had one of my coaches, I had to reach out to her recently, and I was like, hey, in my back office, it looks like you're about to go inactive. Have you ordered your Shaco or your 50 PV? I'm just really upfront about things. Like, I don't have time to like tiptoe around it. And I think you just got to be upfront and just ask them straight up.
Love it. I agree. Okay. So this could be a duo for a Jamie question or Sarah. Right now, I'm really struggling with staying motivated during pregnancy. What do you do to keep yourself motivated?
I feel like a lot of it is a mindset. I think a lot of this business is a mindset, and just knowing that you have to think about all these people that are watching you. People are kind of mean. They're waiting for you to fall. They are. You've been doing this. You've been staying strong, and they are watching you. They're watching you, and it's so important to just keep going, stick with it. You're going to have hard days. I mean, pregnancy is freaking hard. I had a really good pregnancy, and towards the end, I was like, I can't even walk. I have this 10-pound baby in me. I'm like, I can't even move. But for people to see me push and then come out of it and like be able to bounce back pretty easily, they were like, oh, okay, well, she can do this. Like, I can do this. That's what I've had a lot of people tell me. So just stay strong and just know that people who are watching you now, they will be joining you later when you jump back in. They will.
Yeah, and I will totally agree with that. I think you have to just have the mindset that that baby is your reason, not your excuse. Like, obviously there's hard parts of pregnancy where you're, uncomfortable and tired and just all the things, but you just have to lean into, the life that you could create because of coaching. Like, the fact that me and Sarah are able to actually be with our babies is because of coaching. Like, that is why it is. So for us, it was just kind of like, you just got to do it. But also know that every season of life you're going through, not just pregnancy, but everything else, if you're sharing that whole thing, that whole time, no matter how hard or how many ups or downs you have throughout that, people respect you for that, and they're going to join you on that. And then the next season of life, when they are struggling with XYZ, they're going to come to you. Best tips to transition the conversation to Beachbody when talking about things super far away from fitness.
So I don't even always ask questions. Like, I'll just bring it up. Like, if I don't even know, like if I'm asking how their day is going and they're like, oh, how was your day? Like, if I haven't heard from them, I'll be like, hey, how's your weekend going, girl? Hey, how's yours? I'll be like, it's going great. I'll be like, I just got my workout done, like checking in on my girls. Like, they are doing so freaking awesome in my boot camp. And I mean, a lot of the times they'll be like, oh, or like, what are you doing? Or I feel like I just tell them what I'm doing. And then a lot of the times they'll ask me about it. That's what I've been doing, and it's working. Do you have any suggestions, Jamie? That's what I've been doing.
I agree completely with that. Another question, as an emerald pushing to diamond, what is a realistic monetary goal for each week or month, especially when aiming for Success Club 10 minimum?
I feel like I don't think there is a number. I don't think there's anything like unrealistic. It's how hard are you going to work? How hard are you going to push? How many people are you going to reach out to? That's what I think. So I don't feel like there's a specific number. Like, obviously you need to be hitting your non-negotiable. Like, yes, you need to be hitting your non-negotiable and adding, at least 3 coaches a month. But outside of that, like, it's untapped. Like, you are going to do whatever, how much work you're going to put in is what, you're going to get out of it.
Well, and like you said earlier too, you were avoiding looking in your coach office, and then you realize like more people are leaving than coming in. And it's like, looking at it like that, if you bring on 3 people a month, like, your chance of really growing your business and your team the next month isn't super high because that's all you're doing. Whereas if you bring it up to Success Club 10 being a minimum, or Success Club, 14, like just pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, you have more opportunity to grow and for more of those people to actually be business builders someday. Before you were a mom / pregnant, how were you building your following with reaching out to people? Did you find it easier to connect on other levels, or did you just go right in for the invite?
No, I definitely found it easier to connect on different levels still. I mean, there are things that I still like that I talk to people about. I mean, I have moms on my team. I have girls who have just turned 21 on my team. Not that I'm like super old. I'm 30 this year. But I love Lululemon. I love makeup. I love accessories. I love Harry Potter. I love to read. Like, those, I still used like me, but I just really narrowed in the things that I liked. And that's what, that's how I use IG polls, or that's how I reach out to people. I didn't just jump on them. I am a friend with a Young Living Oils member. She is so sweet. She's a mommy. We have babies born the same month. And she sent me this screenshot she's like, do all coaches like reach out to you this way? And it was like super Beachbody, like vomity and nasty. And I was like, no. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I just couldn't believe, I felt, it was just like, I couldn't believe that people were reaching out like that. So always just being things you connect with. Go look at their profile. Do you see pictures? Do you see they have a puppy? Do they like makeup? Do they like hiking? Like, talk about real life things. That's what people want to talk about first. They want to feel like they know you outside of health and fitness because they know you do that. They see your profile.
Best tip for a new coach to get to Emerald?
Just do it. Like tomorrow morning. We'll call your mom and find your husband. Boom. Done.
Done. Super easy. And if you're on Sarah's team, then you get a tank top. So How did you do sneak peeks as an emerald? I'm worried I'm not experienced enough yet to give really detailed videos or responses, especially about things like coach income.
Um, I mean, you can absolutely run them on your own, but if you're really feeling like I'm a little leery about some certain topics, ask one of your coaches if you can go into theirs. I was in Jamie's for quite a while until I ran my own, and I learned a lot from hers at the beginning. So I mean, just rally together. Even if there's a newer coach who's not Emerald, be like, hey girl, do you want to do this with me? I've never done one before. I think that's great. You know, don't make your life harder. Like, work smarter. This is not about like reinventing the wheel. Like, be a part of your coach's sneak peek, and then reach out to maybe a newer coach and say, hey, you want to run these every other week or once a month or every week with me? You know, that in that way you're sharing the load. You know, don't make it harder on yourself.
Can you talk more about the Prep for Success group that you do before boot camps?
Sure. I can actually, so there's 7 units. So if you don't know how to use units on Facebook, go watch a YouTube tutorial. Super easy. I had to do that, and it was just, it's really easy. But what it is, so instead of like a bunch of posts, it literally comes up in like little rectangles, like unit 1, and it has the topic. Unit 2 has the topic. And they literally can work through it and as fast as one day. I tell people that join last minute. I'm like, you can read through this in one day, some of your pictures, some of your measurements. So it just walks them through a prep week. In my boot camp, I was, you know, I think it's important. You need to be doing a prep week. You need to be getting people started off the right way. And I was just posting the same like prep week in my boot camp. And some of my girls who had been in there for 2 years were like, Sarah, for real? And I was like, okay, I hear you, I hear you. And they just get lost in the feed. They just get lost. And then new people are like, where's day 3? Where's day 4? So I add them to this group, and I just like tag them in the first unit, and I say, here's the group. After you complete 1 through 7, you will have graduated prep week, and I can add you into my boot camp. That way, you know, they have to comment on everything. It like asks a question at the end of each unit. So I know that they've read it, they've read the question, they've responded. And then I kind of know some questions ask like what they're struggling with. They talk about like meal prep. When are they going to work out? Like, what days a week are they going to work out? And then, like I said, the very last thing is their pictures and measurements. And if they don't feel comfortable posting them there, then they have to email them to me. And I do not add them until they do it, because I want to make sure that like they're serious and they're committed. So, and it's been working really well.
What is the best way to transition from talking about things in common to Beachbody?
I guess kind of like I said earlier, I just start talking about my day. I ask how their day is going, and then they ask how my day is going, and I kind of just transition it into coaching. And then maybe I'll ask a question like, you know, do you work out too? Or I'll be like, did you get your sweat on today too? You know, working off the, you know, mom bod, kind of thing like that. Just make it lighthearted, but mostly just sharing what I'm doing.
Do you use the same group for all of your coach sneak peeks? And if so, do you delete old videos before you post your newer ones?
I did last year. I did do that. And I had like 100 people in the group, and I was letting my coaches add their people in. And I just started a brand new one. And I think I'm just going to keep it for me, for my prospects. But then if my coaches want me to go run one with them, I'm totally open to that. But for this whole year, yes, I will continue to just put people in, you know, delete the old ones, and then just start fresh with a new group. I think that's easiest. It kind of keeps people all in the same spot. And then maybe 2 months down the road, someone that said no is like, yeah, maybe I do want to do this. So.
How do you handle challengers who do not participate in boot camps?
They don't, I'll reach out to them, and I just straight up ask them. I'll be like, hey, how are things going? Do you enjoy using the group? You know, is there something that you're really just not, you know, liking, or what could I add to it that might be a little more, you know, motivating? Because you know, boot camps can sometimes get a little monotonous. Like, it gets a little old, it gets a little boring. So I love getting feedback from people. I mean, these are for them. They're not for me. I mean, they kind of are, but I know how to stick to something. I know how to be committed. So this is for people who are just starting off. And if I can be doing something different or better for them to help them out, then of course I'm going to, you know, change it a little bit to help them out.
All right, we have 2 questions left. One of them is, what are the 7 units that you do? I'm thinking she's talking about the Prep for Success group.
I'm going to look it up right now. I will pull it up because I definitely do not have them memorized. It's basic stuff. All right, so unit 1 is getting started, and there's 2 little you can do. You probably can't see that. No, I'm not gonna do that. So each unit has a main title, and then there's 2 different little sub groups you can put under like posts. So unit 1 is getting started, and the sub posts, the first one is planning for success. If you guys want, I can share this somehow, but planning for success, and then what are your goals? So it's kind of like figuring out where they're starting, where they want to be, what are they struggling with. Number 2 is learning portions is easy. I'm talking about your containers And then there's a little link that talks about how to use your containers properly. Unit 3, how to use your workouts. This is like a quick tutorial on how to use Beachbody on demand because they need to know how to use that. A lot of girls don't. They don't know where like Fixate is or where their calendars are, meal plans. Unit 4 is Beachbody on demand, the app. Unit 5 is nutrition. So the sub ones are why meal prep, clean out the crap, and recipe resources. And the last one, the recipe resources, there's links in there. Unit 6 is mind and body. We just talk about PD in that one. And then the last one is their measurements and their photos. And I can try and share this somehow. I can probably turn it into a Google Doc and share it because I talk really fast and probably couldn't write that fast.
All right, last question. Do you have an ongoing boot camp, or is that prep something you do before your 21-day groups?
Yeah, so I have an ongoing boot camp. I love having all of my girls in there. I've had some girls in there for like 2.5 years, and I love it. They're super motivating to all the new girls that come in. So I just keep one group, and it's kind of like the coach sneak peek. Sometimes girls fall off, and then all of a sudden there's, maybe they see someone new they relate to, and it like remotivates them, and they're like, okay, like maybe I'm ready to do this again. I've had lots of people do that recently. So I do have an ongoing boot camp. Yes, I can't remember if there's any other part of the question besides that, but yes, I do.
Love it. Thank you, Sarah. That was so good. Everyone was like, I know you couldn't see the chat, but everyone was like freaking out just like with everything that you're saying. So thank you so much for just sharing what's been working for you. You're obviously killing it. And I hope these girls take your tips and put them to action because they can be successful too. So thank you guys so much for hopping on tonight. I will get the recording up in the morning. And then as always, I also upload it to my YouTube for sharing to other people. So love you all. And thank you guys for hopping on, and we'll talk to you all soon.